Exclusive hot new
High School Holla.
Here it comes.
No one can do it better. No one can do it better.
Holla, Chicago! Stephen Spoon Ramsey welcoming everyone from Chicago and all surrounding areas to the best show in Chicago for high school sports, the H2S2 High School Holla Sports Show. We have been talking a lot of football, but now it's time to slowly switch things on. As coming up, it's the end of football and it's the start of the first pitch for baseball. And the High School Holla baseball preview for the 2021 high school baseball season. So that means we return to the West Inglewood neighborhood to visit our friends, the Lindblom Eagles baseball team, for another H2S2 baseball preview. Joining us once again is Lindblom head baseball coach Matt Fidati. Coach, the pandemic canceled 2020 for the baseball season. Talk about the long-awaited opportunity for the Lindblom Eagles to have a chance to play ball again.
It's been a long wait. I think these guys are hungry and excited to play. The first week of practice tryouts that we had last week, I think the energy and excitement level was higher than we've ever had, just based on I think they're just happy to be outside with their friends playing ball. So just really looking forward to getting on the field today, playing a game. It's been a long time.
I want to give you an opportunity, before we get into the talk about the 2021 season. I want to talk about how was it for the last year's seniors to have one last run at a city or state title, and how did you and your coaching staff help those guys get through it? Their last game was in 2019.
Yeah, last game being the sectional final against De La Salle. A lot of these guys were there that day, part of that playoff run when they were sophomores. Last year's seniors would have been a really special group. I was really excited to coach them. And this group here would have been a big part of that team last year as well. I think we would have made some serious noise. We had some, between this group and that group, it would have been a really strong, team. And it's unfortunate it all played out the way it did. Feel for them. They're still going through it. Their freshman year of college, they're missing out on some of the things, that's exciting about freshman year. So I sympathize with them. I've kept in touch with them, reached out to them periodically, checking up on them. Some of them are playing college baseball. So it's cool to try to start following what they're doing.
We have a few seniors joining us today. Who do we have with us?
I'll start with John Mesa. He's our captain. He's a senior. John will be a DH. He'll see time at first base. He'll pitch a little bit for us. Next guy I'll go to is Jakarree Fox. This guy, he can play a lot of different positions. He'll do a lot of different things for us this year. He's going to see time in the outfield, he'll see time at third base. He's going to pitch. He's worked incredibly hard this offseason playing with Cubs RBI, and I've seen a big improvement with him. So I'm really excited to see what he does when we get out on the field.
And that Kevin Hart, that's a personal joke. That's a joke we had off air because he's the jokester of the team. So that's why they.
Exactly. I'll go to John Cruz next. John's been with us since his freshman year. He's a very versatile player. He's a lot like Jakarree. He's really strong in the middle infield. Defensively, he'll pitch as well, and he could play spots in the outfield for us as well. So he's going to do a lot for us. I'm really excited to have him back and see what he can do on the field as well. Let me move over to Josh Matthews. These are all seniors. He's another senior. He's our center fielder. He's got great speed. Fantastic kid. Another kid that's been with us since his freshman year, and lefty, and I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do too. Abel Torres is our last senior there. This kid is a fantastic kid. He's going to pitch a ton for us this year. He could also play the middle infield, and he's got great speed. I think his greatest strength is as a pitcher, and I'm expecting a lot of innings and a lot of wins and maybe some saves. He's going to do he's going to be pretty versatile for us as a pitcher in his role, and I'm excited to have him back as well. This is a really great group of seniors. They got a lot that they could bring to the table on and off the field. Leadership so far has been tremendous, and looking forward to keeping that going.
Well, it's time to talk to these shining stars, and I want to ask you guys, because we asked Coach last season, 2019, from you guys who had this year to look forward to play baseball, how did you feel about not having the chance to play with last year's seniors, those brothers on this team that helped you guys through?
Can I speak first? So the seniors from last year compared to the seniors I've played with the years before, the seniors last year, I've actually had a connection with them even before getting into high school. So I've actually gotten the opportunity to play with them, side by side with them, develop as a player with them. Then they disappear. I'm like, where did y'all go? Then I came to Lindblom, and here they was. I was able to play with them sophomore and freshman year. But junior year, I was really looking forward to us playing together. I really thought we was going to get really far playing throughout the season together. So, like, it kind of just came down to me. Like, hey, these were, like, some of the closest guys I played with. And just missed out. So, yeah.
You guys are the seniors this year of this team. And after losing a season of baseball and coming into this season, has your attitude or approach to the game of baseball changed at all?
Yeah, I quit baseball for a while. So coming into the season, I'm like, my attitude's completely changed. Like, this is something like, it's kind of like this the last road, you know? This is something that I want to, kind of just like finish it off the best way I can. And I obviously, we all want to win. We're all competitors at heart. Like, it's just something we want to strive for. My apologies. Something you want to strive for, just end it off in like victory,
The quarantine was a blessing and a curse for me, because normally during the off season I would be focusing more, because I was a dual sports player. So normally I wouldn't be playing baseball during the off season. I'll be focused more on basketball, trying to get prepared for the next season. But this year I kind of put basketball to the side and focus more on baseball, which how Coach said that I play for the Cubs RBI, and that elevated my game tremendously. Like, I am not the same player that I used to be sophomore year or junior year. So like the way I approach the game is amazing now. Like, it's incredible.
I want to ask you, Jonathan, last time this team was on the baseball diamond was in the IHSA State Class 3A playoffs against De La Salle, a tough loss, 6-2. What do each of you remember about that game in 2019, Jonathan?
I think first thing I remember personally was me and Jeremiah Hurt taking like 3 Tylenols each because we were both kind of injured and getting on the road. So the game, I think for us as sophomores that year, one of the biggest things we tried to do was we tried to give the same encouragement we did that Simeon game, and we just tried to do whatever we could to like keep our seniors and our juniors up so they could continue on the game. And so I think the biggest thing I remember was actually that very last play, because that's when you it's over. And I think it was Justice who was up, and he hit a chopper and it was out. But I really think that it was just one of those moments where you realize, oh, we can't play another game anymore. So,
what's your thoughts about playing your first game in over a year?
I'm just excited to play. It's been a long time since we had like a live pitch from playing an actual team. So I have a lot of motivation to play today. I just hope that my team does too. I'm pretty sure we do. And I just want to do great for the first game and have the best time that we can have for the rest of the games too.
Hey, I got to ask this of everybody. Anybody nervous? Coach included. Is anybody nervous?
Yeah, a little nervous, you know.
All right, what, share with us. Abel, what's really about the nerves? And JC, you come up next.
It's just like having the feeling of being able to be back in the field again. It just makes you like anxious. Like it makes you want to play like so much better. And sometimes that can throw you off a little bit, but you can't allow it to throw us off today. Gotta get that, and we gotta get it on today.
What's your nerves?
I mentioned it before, like I said. Like I quit baseball like in total. So like now coming back, this is gonna be a first live pitch again. You know, the first time stepping on a field in over a year, and like in general, like in a game situation. So I feel like I just have a lot to prove, especially coming back. You know, this is gonna be my Jordan year. Come out of retirement, I'm coming back. So
actually, I didn't actually feel any type of nervousness until you actually brought it up. I don't know, it just wasn't really on my mind. What was really on my mind was just like, I'm just excited to get on the field again. So now the excitedness is like, it wobbles a little bit, but at the same time it's still strong because like I'm nervous. I'm nervous about the first game. Things can go wrong, obviously, but at the same time, I'm just still excited to play the game again. My excitedness to play the game it's like over my nervousness. So it's excited, nervous combo, but you could still overall say I'm still excited.
That last game, so close. I mean, it went really down to the last out. You guys had runners on base and everything. How has that motivated you over the year to get ready for the day?
Just being in that environment, being in that playoff environment, it really like encourages me like to that this team that we have now with the young players that we have and with this senior group, we can go back to that same position and win that game. Like the day before, and not the day before, but like that, a couple days before, we actually played a very good Simeon team. A lot of people didn't think we would win. We ended up winning the game and ended up playing a good DeLaSalle team. So this group of kids that we have now, I feel like we can come back and do something big this year. Shock a lot of people.
We're the last people to play who are in that game. And so it's really just bringing all the players who weren't able to be there to that moment and then changing what happened from then and being able to build off of that and just keep on going.
Now, Coach Fidati, I got to ask you, I'm interested in knowing from you, from a coach's perspective, that last season and losing a season, has it changed your perspective as a coach coming into 2021 season?
Just with the amount of time they gave us to prepare, it's changed my perspective on what we need to do and how to get them all ready. But as far as, the enjoyment level, the first week we were back together, it was one of the most fun weeks I've ever had coaching baseball. I think it's a combination of these kids that are right here with us and some of the juniors and sophomore and freshmen that we have in the program right now. We have a lot of talent and just good kids in the program that showing up every day, ready to work hard and practice. So that makes it easy and enjoyable as a coach when you got kids that care and, they want to be there, they want to get better individually and as a team. But also, we've been away from the game for a while too. So there's that aspect of it. It just feels good to be outside on a baseball field and, make, something like, this pandemic, it makes you take a step back and appreciate it, I think, even more when you have the opportunity to be together.
Now, Coach, what's the ultimate goal the baseball, high school baseball is one of the few sports that's going to actually have a postseason. So what's the ultimate goal for the Lindblom Eagles baseball team?
Yeah, I feel blessed that the IHSA decided to give what's now considered the summer sports a state playoff. So, we'll be able to play a lot more games than some of these other teams played this year. The goal is to get back to where we were. You always want to improve on where you were last. And it's been a while since we played, but we want to get back. We won our first regional championship in school history in 2019. Over 100 years in school history, only one. And so, we want to win another regional championship, and we want to get back and have a shot at the sectional again. I think this team can do it. It's going to take a lot of hard work, and it's going to take some patience because, it's been a while for all of us. We're going to be knocking some rust off early on. But we just got to keep that ultimate goal in mind and keep striving for it. And once we get to state, we want to, make a run. And we got to start making the run in city too, because we have not won a city game in the 6 years I've been at Lindblom. So we got to make some noise in city and really earn some respect there.
Now, Coach, I asked the players, and I want to get your thoughts. Have you replayed that sectional championship game in your head over this year?
I just think about the opportunity that we had. We were down 3-2 in the sixth against a really strong team. And then they brought in that kid that ended up getting drafted in the first round. He was throwing 94 miles an hour. So it was a great test for us. But a lot of people don't remember about Lindblom baseball program is when I took over the program 6 years ago, and one of the best player on that team that year, Tristan Hanna, he's now an assistant coach with us on the varsity team. His senior year, we lost to De La Salle. It was either 15-0 or 15-1 in the first round of the state playoffs. So we weren't even close to their level yet. And the work that was put in from then until 2019 and now, it's amazing how far the program has come. It was such a testament to the hard work that was put in by the kids to go from getting smoked 15-0 to being in a game with them 3-2 and going into basically the last inning in a sectional final. So this program's come really far throughout the years. I'm extremely proud of where we are. I'm extremely proud of these guys and the time that they've put into it and the commitment that they put into it. And I'm hoping that we can continue to grow, in the future as well. But I don't really think too much about that specific game. I like to think about that Simeon game. When we beat Simeon, that was an exciting game. So I think more about that than losing.
I like that, Coach. I like that a lot. Now, Coach, taking a glance at your schedule, you have some great games, both in conference and out of conference. Talk about the competition the Eagles will face this season.
Yeah, so we are getting our first crack at a full slate of Jakarree Robinson South games. This was one of the goals of my early teams to get to the Jakarree Robinson Conference, and the goal is now to stay in it. We want to prove that we're as good as any of those teams, and we're competitive at that level, day in and day out. We've had success against the Jakarree Robinson North and South teams in the past years, but this is going to be the first time playing them all week long, every week. So I'm excited for the challenge. I think the guys are too. So it's going to be a tough schedule. I think we're ready.
Well, we have come to this time where, as Coach Fidati always know, we like to give out big hollers. And there's been a whole year past. So I know you guys got a long list. We're going to start with Coach Fidati and then let each of you give big hollers out to not only the Lindblom Eagles baseball supporters, but to your family and friends who've been supporting you and waiting for this first pitch season to take off, man. And starting with you, Coach Fidati, who you want to give a big holler out to?
I'm going to give two shout-outs right now to the 2020 class, the seniors. My motivation right now is to do this season for you and give it everything we got. And then to one of our alumni that's been super supportive, Mosquito. He's a guy that does anything to try to help support us and raise money, help us raise funds and everything for the team. And it's super appreciated. So to the alumni and Mosquito.
I give a shout out to all my mom and my dad for supporting me throughout this long journey, 18 years. And I'd like to give a shout out to my first baseball coach to ever put the ball in my hands, my coach, Coach Herman. Thank you for everything, because without you, I would not be here at all. Coach Sean Coy, one of our juniors on the team, his dad has put in a lot of work with us over this quarantine with Josh, and Jonathan Mesa. So I want to give a big shout out for him.
I gotta give a holla out to the parents, always there for me. I guess if I'm gonna go off Jakarree, the first coach, my dad signed me up when I was 3 for play with the older kids. Gotta give a shout out. I'm gonna give a shout out to Abel, who's actually in this call, and a couple other friends, because I honestly wouldn't be playing the season if they didn't talk me back into it, and just that passion, that drive. So holla out to all of them, all my friends and stuff, and then the family, of course. I don't mean to bring down the mood, but I also want to give a shout out to one of my friends. His name was Maurice Henriquez. They call him F3. This is his hoodie. He recently passed. I honestly want to do this season for him as well. Everything I do is for him too. So that's one last thing I wanted to mention real quick.
I want to give a holla out to the coaches for still wanting to coach us after a year of not having to play a season. I want to give a holla out to my parents because they put me in at such a young age and they want me to keep playing and get better for myself. I want to give a holla out to Johnny too, because if it wasn't for him, I probably would have I don't know. I don't think I would have joined the baseball team if it wasn't for him to talk to me about it.
The whole family, mom, dad, both brothers, and my little sister. She said that she's gonna try to come to the game today. Give a holla out to Al King and Jay Hurt and Andre Harris. Those are 3 seniors from last year who I really played with a lot over the past couple of years. Also, go ahead and support Kimmy Cakes. It's a Black-owned female business. Go ahead and support. That's on 10225 Southwestern. Go ahead, go to Kimmy Cakes Bakery and Cafe.
Shout out to all of my family members, including my brother, my father, my mother. They've all, they're day one. Shout out to all the people in my church who I've grown up with. And also shout out to the Mesa family, Jonathan's family, because they're the family that brought my family into baseball. And his father was my very first coach, who I deeply respect and admire as a man. Also, a shout out to one of two of the greatest coaches that coached me before I turned 10, Coach Tony Davenport and Coach Sean Spruill. And then ultimately, a shout out to Coach Fidati, who accepted me as a player, as a Eagle.
JC, he mentioned Sean Spruill. He's one of our coaches on our staff now too. He coached Josh when he was young, and he's on our staff now. And also, good thing to note is Josh's brother is on Simeon's varsity team, so they'll be doing battle this year. Battle of the brothers.
Well, that's a game I definitely got a circle on the calendar. Coach Matt Fidati, we are glad to have you and these 5 young men back on, not only on the baseball diamond, but on the H2S2 show, man. It's always a pleasure to have Lindblom Eagles baseball back on the show. Thank you guys, and we wish you much success. Can't wait to see you guys perform this week, man. We would like to thank the coaches and all of our shining stars of the game who joined us this week. Remember, you can catch the H2S2 High School Holla Sports Show on all of our social media sites. That's YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. You can also subscribe to the H2S2 podcast on iTunes, Google Play, and SoundCloud simply by searching Urban Fieldhouse Media. Go to our website at urbanfieldhousemedia.com, where you can listen to some past shows and segments on the Urban Fieldhouse Media website. Always remember, God loves you, and we do too. I'm Steven Spoon Ramsey saying, holla at you next week on the H2S2 High School Holla Sports Show.
High School